Hi guys, this is Dr. Suguna. In this video, I am going to explain how to write functions in Python. So what is a function? A function is a block of organized and it is reusable code that is used to perform one particular action. Why do we use function? It is used for better modularity for your application and we have high degree of code reusing. You will write functions which is beginning with the keyword diff and it is followed by the function name and parenthesis. Any input parameters or argument should be placed within these parentheses. The first statement of a function can be an optional statement which will explain what the function is supposed to do. That is called as a document string or a doc string. The code block within the function will start with a colon and it is indented. And we can use a statement called return statement which will return a single value or a multiple values or the values calculated for the arithmetic operations and it will exit the function. So how to write a function? What is the syntax? So it will have a function name and you need to specify the parameters and you need to write down what the function is supposed to do, all the statements in the body of the function, and you will be using a return statement. So this is how we'll write the function. First write diff and you have to give a function name and within bracket you have to write the parameters and colon followed by this is doc string. Doc string is enclosed in a double quote mentioning that it is a comment stating that what the function is supposed to do. Then we can write the body of the function which is nothing but the function suit and you will be returning if required, returning some values or an expression after performing the statements in the function. So this is a simple example. See here, diff is a keyword, print me is my function name and I am passing one parameter which is a string. str is some variable and inside which I have written in double quotes this prints a passed string function. So this is called a doc string. And what we are going to do is the execution statement is print str. Whatever is passed we need to print that and we need to return. That's it. So you can call this function by using print me, that is by writing the name of the function and passing the parameter. The parameter is a string, so we have enclosed everything in a string. Okay, and we can also call this function any number of times. So that is why it is called as a code reusability. Now all the parameters in the Python are passed by reference, which means that if you change any parameter within the function, it will also reflect back in the call function. Say for example, here we have a function name is change me and within which I have written one my list. So this is the parameter which you are passing. Here the parameter is a list. So here inside the function I am writing my list dot append. I am using this append and I am appending some values. And now I am printing the values inside the function. Okay. Now in the main, this is main portion. Like my list is equal to I have declared one list and then I am calling this function change me. Don't worry about all these semicolons. You can use or you may not use. Call this function by passing this list. Now inside what we are doing, we are appending all these values to the list. So when you come out values outside the function also, this will be reflected. The changes is done within the function, but it is also reflected when you come out of that function. So you will get the output like this. Okay, so values inside the function is 10, 20, 30. Along with that, I am appending this list. Okay, so remember, when I append a list, that list together will be appended. It is not only the values. Now, we'll see one more example where the argument is passed by reference, but the reference is overwritten. Okay, so let us see an example. See, in this example, I am passing the list, but I am redefining the list. Okay, I am assigning my list as a new list, which means the list which is passed from the main is overridden. Okay, so overridden. So when you print the values, then it says that inside the function, the my list is 1, 2, 3, 4, but outside the function, it will be 10, 20, and 30. So that is what you get. So when you make changes to the parameter, it will be reflected back. When you totally change the value for that argument, then it won't get reflected. So let us talk about arguments in the function. There are different types of formal arguments you can use in the function. We can use required arguments. We can use keyword arguments. We can use default arguments, and we can use variable length arguments. These are the 4 different kinds of arguments you can use in the function. So what do you mean by required or a positional argument? Required arguments are the arguments passed to a function in some correct positional order. That means, see, here you have a function, you have written a function which will accept one parameter. Okay, that is string. And we have print that value, and you are not going to return anything. So simple a return statement. Now we are calling this function by print me. Don't worry about this semicolons. Okay, so this is not required, and all the print arguments should be enclosed in brackets. Now, when I call this function, I am not passing anything. Okay, so this will give me an error because it is exactly requires one argument. So if you are given 2 arguments, then you need to pass 2 arguments when you call the function. That is what you call as a required arguments. If you don't give the required arguments, then it will raise an error. Then keyword arguments are related to the function calls. See, here the ordering is not necessary. Okay, so you can just skip the ordering and you can place it in any order you want. Say for example, I'm just, so this is having only one argument. So we have to, instead of passing simply as the value, you can also mention that keyword, that is your argument name, equal to, and assign that value. So this is what you mean by keyword arguments. Now let us explain this keyword arguments with one more example. So here I have 2 arguments for this function, name and age. Okay, and inside which I am just printing name is name and age is age. That's it. Now I am calling this function by writing that name of the function, and now I am passing in different order. Here the order is first name and age, but I can change the order by means of the keyword argument, like mentioning that argument name is equal to that value and name is equal to size. So this is permitted when we are using this keyword arguments. So the idea is we can change the order of the arguments when we pass the values by mentioning the argument name. So you will get name is equal to Sai, and name is Sai, and age is 50. And default arguments is another one which will assume some default value if a value is not provided in the function call for that argument. Say for example, so we have defined a function with name and age is equal to 35. So this is the default value which is assigned. If when you call this function, if you pass both the parameters, then it will take those values. If you don't pass the value for this age parameter, by default it will take it as 35. So that is the meaning of default arguments. So here we are printing name and age. So first call to print information, I am passing age is equal to 50 and name is equal to Mickey. So it will print Mickey and 50. But in the second argument, I am passing only name, not the age. So if I don't pass anything for the age, then by default, it will take it as 35. So that is the output we will get. So for the first call, you will get name Mickey, age 50. But in the second call, you will get name Mickey and age is equal to 35 because We didn't pass that parameter. Variable length arguments is used when you don't know how many arguments you are going to pass for the function when you write that. Okay, so that arguments are called variable length arguments and it is not named in the function definition. Okay, so how do you use this argument is, see, you can use arg1, comma, and variable argument should be preceded by this star. Star, you can give any variable you want. Here we have used star variable tuple. Then colon. So this is a doc string and print. Sorry, this should be small p. Print output is. Then you have arg1 is equal to arg1 and for variable in variable tuple. So this may have any number of variables. So whatever variables we have, we are trying to print that variable and return. And so first call, I am making it by passing arg1 as 1 and I am passing only one variable, that is 10. Now look at the second call. Second call to the function is print info. I am passing arg1 as 3 and I am passing 3 values. Okay. So all the 3 values will get printed. As you can see, the advantage of variable length argument is you can call the function with any number of arguments. So that is the idea. So you will get the output as for the first call, we will get arg1 is equal to 1 and we will get here only one argument we have passed, so you will get 10. For the second call, we will get arg1 is equal to 3 and since we have passed 3 variables, that is 3 arguments, it will take all the 3 argument values and it will print. So this is the advantage of using your variable length arguments. So thank you. Subscribe to this channel for viewing more videos. Thank you.